So, as usual, I got interrupted again trying to tell this story.
Still back at it again?
Back at what, Ken?
What were you doing? On live with your people.
I'm not live.
Okay, I bet you from one stream from another. I bet you another stream under that.
Excuse me?
I bet you there's another stream under that one.
I told you that I'm telling my personal story for myself. So what is the problem with me doing that?
There's no problem with that. What I'm saying is, I bet you take that stream off, it's another stream live. I bet you that.
No, there isn't, Ken. I wasn't live, so why do you keep saying that? You're on my freaking Facebook. You can look in there and see.
I'm not on your Facebook.
Yes, you are. That's your son and your daughter is on my Facebook.
My son. I don't even talk to him.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
So, not like that.
What do you want? Why do you keep doing that?
Doing what?
Interrupting me.
Well, you've been on the game for 2 hours.
Yeah, but am I breaking a crime? Am I making a crime or something?
No, but you was live because when you hit 2 streams, you had 1 stream, 2 streams, and which one? 3 streams for you got out there. You exit.
So what if I was?
But you on live though.
I'm not live. Well, it is live, but it's not live.
What I'm saying, if you live, people watching you right now.
No, Ken, it's personal. It's only me, so that's not live. This is only me.
Right.
And I go back later and I make movies out of it if I want to. This is for me personal, something special I was doing.
Right. If you're doing something personal, why you got me on there?
Because you keep interrupting me coming in here.
But what I'm saying, you choose one still doing that, and you didn't do it until when I gave you the weed. Then before you were rocking and shaking, and so I gave you the weed, you went I'm going live. So when I give you weed, that means you're doing different things. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
You're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm saying when you go
I
live.
was in here minding my own business, right?
Right.
And I've been going through a lot lately.
Right.
Which is what I'm talking about.
Right.
So you came here, you gave me a bag of weed.
No, I give you a bag of weed all day long. So now I didn't give you a bag of weed.
Now it's all day long.
Yeah, you get it in the morning, and then when I come home, and then sometime before that.
All right, Ken, why do I get the weed?
Why?
We go with the freaking gaslighting. Why?
It's not no gaslighting.
It's not? What is it?
You're supposed to be winging off the weed to get one bag a day to wing off, but it's getting worse.
Okay, so now you think that I'm live, but it's your opportunity to tell me that I'm supposed to be weaning off the 2 bags to 1 bag of weed.
No, when you're on live.
And that I was in here shaking, and why am I in here live and all this other stuff?
What I'm saying is, when you go live, if somebody go live, it goes on Facebook and it's connected and they send their moves up and everything. So that's what I'm saying. It goes live. It can hear a voice or what's going on. But when you show yourself, either you can send it, somebody send you one, you send them one, you go back and forth, and that's what you do with them brothers. That's what y'all do. So I'm saying when you do that, most of the time you connected to some woman, some man, you're connected. So you here with me. So you're saying if this is your connection, so you might as well meet the people if you're gonna be connected. Because I'm catching your riff from them. If you argue with them, you come in here, I feel that. But then I'm the one that give you the weed when you're shaking and rock. I'm saying everybody should kumbaya, not me. I shouldn't get hit with all the bad stuff like I'm doing bad, but yet I'm being when you're hit by yourself.
Ken, I wasn't bothering you. You're in there. You've been on the sofa for over 7
years,
years, right? I was in here by my. It's been 10 years you on the sofa.
10 years I've been on the sofa.
Okay, so I was wrong on that time.
Right. So when you finish and you get your weed come down, you don't have to come to bug me though.
You bother me. I didn't bother you. You came in here bothering me.
Okay.
You're also gaslighting me. You guys don't want me to tell my story. This is the 3rd freaking time you interrupted me just on this right here. Wow, now I'm 50 years old. Everything that's the gaslighting. That's the gaslighting. So they don't want you to be a lady or to straighten out your life or to tell your story. And they do things where they use code words or trigger words like say things like the marijuana. First of all, it's legal, but then you're the one controlling it and giving it to me. Why is that? But we can't talk about that. We're only going to talk about the fact that I smoke weed. But I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and I no longer take any of the medications that I used to have to take for all those strange ailments that I told you about. that just mysteriously popped up. So I overcame all that. I no longer take their, um, I no longer have to go to the pain clinic. I no longer have to go to the psychiatrist and get their medications and stuff to regulate me. Even with everything, with all the abuse and the gaslighting going on, I do that myself. I still got that man did his schoolwork for his master's and human services, drug and alcohol therapy. So he's still asking me to confirm certain terminology that he uses every day with his clients. And then gonna start getting itchy and crazy because he knows that I'm lying. So while I was on here, there was the dog barking from across the street, her coughing, there was some garbage cans moving, and there was him. There was also some talking, and I'm working on getting a clear story out. It feels almost impossible. So the men are using they're using the psychology. They're using us against each other, right? Your idiosyncrasies. Um, like I said, that woman was telling me how to behave like a lady, how to behave like a woman. She wanted me to carbon copy myself after her, be extremely soft spoken, and I don't know, be more. She was actually seemed like she was trying to mold me to her, to what she wanted. She was very female, but she was doing what men do, trying to tell you who to be. And I found it most offensive as um, another woman telling another woman how to present herself when I wasn't being, um, like I was just starting to get used to showing myself at all, you know. As I said, there was one time when they didn't even know that I was a girl. Um, and the reason why I got into Dr. Francis Scott Wessling is because, you know, it was very rare that I saw that women had an opinion that was worth anything, let alone a strong one. And still, I did see a few people um, as I was looking through the historical information on Black history and stuff like that. Um, there we go again.
You still on the thing?
Huh?
Still on the thing? We having sex tonight? We having sex tonight?
Didn't you just cuss me out?
I know. I'm gonna ask you yes or no.
Sure can.
Huh?
Sure can.
You want to?
Not really. I never do want to, do I?
Yeah,
I'll
you do.
keep the peace.
No, but you usually. Well, you trying to say you don't want to, or is it because of me?
Didn't you just come in here and cuss me out, nigga?
We were talking. We always do that.
Oh, now we always do that.
We don't.
What do you want, Ken?
I'm just saying. Don't we argue and then we make up, or we don't?
I just, you know what, Ken?
But I'm just asking you a question. Because you had blue hours on the couch for 7 years. I've been on the couch, but I haven't, we still have sex every night, right? But we don't? So I said something wrong?
I'm just getting tired of this whole
I know,
thing.
but
If you want to do something, fine.
we don't have sex every night.
Yes, Ken.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So do you want to do something? I said yes.
Okay. Well, no, finish your live. You're doing your live, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll finish your
All right. Is there a reason why you're just standing by the door like that?
Is there a reason why you safeguarding that thing, that person hiding behind the screen?
What?
I'm saying there's a reason why you got that behind the screen with somebody behind the screen. And you're saying what? It's
Who is
obvious.
behind what screen?
Your screen on your thing there. Your live thing you say you got live. It's obvious, Regina.
What is obvious, Karen?
It's obvious that you have somebody behind your screen.
That I have somebody behind the screen.
No, on your phone.
There's nobody there, Ken.
I'm saying on your phone. You still have a live thing there. When you're behind it, you still have a live.
You're not making any sense. Mind control is some serious stuff, y'all, I'm telling you. It's all very freaking minor. And quite embarrassing. Meant to be extremely embarrassing. I go through this shit all day, every day. And there's no friend to call up and complain. Hey girl, look what I just went through. No place besides this room inside the house now because of the dynamics. You know, that's what makes leaving. So, well, why don't you get up and leave? Well, I did talk to you already about what happened when I did do that. And when I do that, I get attacked by gang stalkers and government agents from a different angle. And so when you're looking at me and trying to figure out why I don't have economy, not doing what I need to be doing, I have all these other factors to consider every time I freaking move. And all this acting and shenanigans going on all around me, pressing on my nerves, stressing me out. Raising children in this. Doing everything I can to make sure they don't throw me in the freaking hospital. I mean, racking my nerves, stressing me, they're trying to get me to lose it to where they gain all rights to my custody. I don't have a right to say anything about whether I come or go anymore. Might as well be in jail. Just lock you up and, then they really have fun with you because some of the worst kind is in there. Love them jobs. Abuse people all freaking day. Abusers love jobs where they're policing people, and officials, just like pedophiles like to become people in positions to handle children. It's gotten to the point where I waited so long that I don't even feel like anybody really cares. But then I know that that's just my feelings because I listen to other TI stories. I listen to other targeted individuals' stories and I feel for them. And it is helpful to know that you're not the only one. The stories are crazy. I have 3 grandchildren and 3 daughters. And I'm an eldest. And as I come into my 50th birthday, and I'm still not plugged in to society, and it's getting worse, not better. I don't see a reprieve. The people I trusted turned on me. people online, freaking motivation, speakers, and trusting them, thinking they're going in the same, they're people in the same direction that I'm in. But they were just hurtful. They were just 33-degree Masons. They were just part of the Nazi paperclip gang stalking program, trying to break me down, working to break me down, take my ideas and outsource them and distract me, use them on bigger platforms, and discredit me and keep me disfranchised. They have the equipment to police your numbers on YouTube and, affect your influence. Meanwhile, they're aware that all this other stuff is happening to you and act like it isn't. So if one of the people you're studying with that you're aware of says, well, how come you don't get up and go and get yourself an apartment? Then I would have to explain that the gang stalking team and the government agents are there when I do that, and how I'm going through stuff and how I already did that, and what the history of that was, where it led me. All the stuff that is unresolved that I'm still dealing with, that I cope with every day, and I'm just so freaking tired. I don't know why they don't just fucking kill people instead of torturing them for fucking lifetimes, years. Getting off on that. I'm making a job for somebody, getting somebody off. I said, well, Regina, how come your life isn't together? How come you're not this and that? And you don't see the other shit there stopping me from preventing me every time I get up and feel inspired and get ready to do it. Something is there to embarrass me or prevent me from doing it. How is that correspondence? That's deferment. That's purposely, like, freaking smart meter is humming right now. I've been trying to find a way to earn money for myself, and I don't know, it must be a curse on me or something. People don't even want to give me a donation, as if nothing that I do is worthy enough. Occasionally, I'll get a sale where I'll get to make something like my crafts, like bracelets or a poncho or a shawl, a blanket or something that I'll sell. Rarely. Donations for the information that I give. I've been here for years, just being helpful. None of that stuff, the traits and stuff that we say that we're looking for in the conscious community or in growing, has been appreciated. This has all been looked at like I'm crazy and stupid. You don't understand economy? They ask me. No, we're not all good at everything. Some of us are lacking in certain areas. But that's why there was such a thing as community. We're supposed to pick up the slack, not attack each other and feed off of the weakness. We're supposed to pick up the slack and fill in the gaps for those areas, and that's how you become a puzzle, become strong, become a fist, right? Not all thumbs, not all pinkies. But nah. I was hoping that I would be worthy enough to at least be able to accommodate my income a little bit so I could get myself a little apartment away from the abuse that I've been going through for years while being of service, while being abused under the people that I was hoping to be of service to. That's weird. And yeah, even when you tell your story, it seems like you're just feeling sorry for yourself and telling the story where everything is somebody else's fault. And they could just nitpick that. It's like, I don't want to tell my story. And have people think that I'm lying and make my situation worse. I don't want to tell you what I've been going through because I'm embarrassed and it hurts. And I'm afraid that you won't believe me. And it'll make my predicament even worse. Just like I was when I was a little girl. And I said he touched me. So, but that's your dad. Yeah, I know. When I was a little girl and I said he touched me. Yeah, but that's your neighbor. He lives in a house. Yeah, I know. And I was a preteen. I said he touched me. But that's your mom's boyfriend. Yeah, I know. And I said he touched me. Yeah, they know your mom. You're supposed to walk to the store with you. But thank goodness the counselor from Curtis' home happened to be there. And all that probably would have been documented a lot better if I hadn't took back my statement when I was a little girl because I didn't want my mother and father to be in trouble. They begged me to recant my statement that I had to make legally, that there was abuse going on. The guy at the store, the Curtis home, made me write a report because it was twice that I went home on a visit when I was touched inappropriately. And they tried to make it seem like I was a little girl crying wolf. But I wasn't. But to save my mother and father from getting in trouble, I retracted my statement because they asked me to, not realizing the repercussions. All this happened before I was even 10. My first recollection of being abused, I was like 7. So it was like back to back to back to back to back, bam. And I think perhaps they were involved in one of those child pedophile rings. It was close. It was around somewhere. I smell something now that I've been looking at the research all these years and going through this ish. And why isn't it let up? Sometimes I go back and I look at that little girl in my mind's eye and I'm like, if this was that pivotal moment when you changed your life because you spoke out, is that what your dad is trying to tell you by passing away on your birthday? He was always asked, like, trying to encourage me to write. My mom dressed me up as a French dance hall girl. I think of that movie, The Matrix, where Neo knocks over something on the stand, and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry that I did that." And she said, "The funny thing would have been, she said, watch out for that." And then he knocks it over, and then he says, "I'm sorry I did that." He said, "How did you know that I was going to do that?" And she said, "The funny part is, would you have did it if I didn't mention it?" And I think of dream boarding and this future stuff. I just got started. This is just a small part of my story. But this part that I wasn't telling makes all the other parts make more sense. About time travel and some of the homes that I was in, the treatment, memory wipes in the hospital. I've had memory wipes. Our ancestors are bringing me back information and certain things that happened to me. I never got a chance to see my records in my own hands. And it's illegal to show your psychiatric records to anyone. But yet my husband was showing the psychiatric records before when my daughter was just born, when she was a baby and he was in jail. Probably when they recruited him for the Love Bite program, where they have the men who were got in trouble or incarcerated police their spouses. You also have to watch out for the shelters and stuff too. From the information, some of the shelters are chipping people and abusing people with this gang stalking technology. So I'm afraid to go to the shelter. I've had bad experiences with the shelter. Makes me look even more silly. Twice I got kicked out of the freaking shelter. And I thought, something is wrong with me. I just have the worst freaking luck. Felt like my stomach was on the ground. But yeah, that's also documented, how they use the shelters, and these people are like, it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, you know. Or like people are taken over by some kind of weird thing. Whenever you try to remove it, they just pop up and mess your stuff all up. They'll lie, they'll make noise, they'll discredit you. They'll make noise and try to mess up your professionalism and your credibility. I had a pastor and his wife as friends. They don't live too far from me. That got messed up. My husband lied to him. And said, well, why don't you come by anymore? After it got cleared up, well, we know that you're not, we know that you're telling the truth and you're not, kind of stuff that he was saying. I know, but like the damage is done. And who wants to go through all that anyway, right? I keep myself from having to go through it, keep people from having to go through it, and looking to make my own way. And part of that is making my own income, having my skills be valuable. So that's why I share the information that I've learned, and I make things. And I also dance, and I share information, health information from that too. But, you know, without the proper support system, it's been very difficult. If I leave, I'm also worried about being attacked like other TIs, especially being a woman. And some of the situations that I saw that were being set up for me when I was preparing to get my own place and leave, it wasn't good. Our ancestors be showing me to line up and things sometimes. And part of the thing is when they herd the TIs into areas that they want you in so they could police you better, so they could manipulate you further, so they could break you down more. I'm like, why do all that? Why don't you just kill them? It's better not to play with your food, right? Because this is just horrible. You know, like people who use children for means of pedophilia, and then they grow up and they wonder why the child is so sick. You know, wipe your sicknesses all over the child, and then when it grows up, you want to blame the child for it. These people that hurt me and that did these things, some of the stories I didn't even say, they're still around. I still treat them with respect. There's still a whole supporting cast that if I was to say saying something against them would make it look like I am doing something wrong and betraying them. Like there was something wrong with me and I was inadequate. And they're the upstanding citizens that they portray themselves to be. And especially, and when you look back on, the whole thing, I had to have wanted it, right? Like the girl who put on the outfit and went out to the club and got raped. She was loose anyway. She was right where she needed to be. It just happened. It was bound to happen sooner or later anyway. Kind of behavior. Oh, we don't like her anyway. She's a troublemaker anyway. Look at her track record. Aren't we supposed to be truthers and have opinions and stuff? We go after people. We have conspiracy theory. We want the heavy hitters. The darkest stuff that's happening in our government around us. But yet we're doing the same thing and we don't want to be policed. We want to shine a light on the crap that just happened or is happening around us. But we don't want to put ourselves in it. You want to be that much of a star or in the limelight? Only me, only me, only me. Nobody else can be intelligent unless they're licking your hoo-hoos. No matter how much they were there for you before. Sharing your videos and helping, with your classes and giving you accolades. No matter how bright-eyed and bushy-tailed I used to be before I realized you was messing with me. Cutting me off and shutting me down and manipulating me, gaslighting me. While smiling at me. And betraying me. And discrediting me. And then, the equipment to shut down your internet and to hold back your material and to duplicate your material and mass produce it on your platforms before I can even, by the time I freaking upload and get my stuff floating, you're duplicating and spitting out the same freaking thing from a different angle. For your thousands of patrons. Leaving me in the dust without a word freaking cent to get away from the abuse that I'm going through. Sexual, emotional, and mental. But I asked for it and it's normal. So I'm like, Creator, I don't understand it. I'm doing what I need to be doing on this end and it be getting blocked. So when I talk about it, it looks even worse. I don't know what to do. A lot of people commit suicide. There is a suicide program. Earlier, I was hearing the suicide program. The voice to skull tech that tells you to do it. So they could try to lock you up in the hospital. And take all your rights away. And as a spiritual person or an educator or a person in the public eye, you're supposed to pretend like you don't have any problems and issues like they do. Meanwhile, they got voice to skull technology in your ear. Nobody's supposed to talk about what's really going down. Street performers and gaslighting gang stalkers. And other media personalities, truthers, and people through ascension and awakening who are actually government agents, actually feeding their freaking email list. What they're doing is they're stopping you. They ain't trying to start nothing. So if trying to start something, where is it? And that's where it gets tricky. Then if it's not you and you go to somebody else's platform, if they're a part of this conspiracy, it's their platform. You just get kind of caught up in it. Hopefully not for years like me. Check out that book, Soul Catcher, Program Soul Catcher, Edition 2. And check out Anthony Patch. He's on YouTube. He's really good about sharing his information. But if you want it more extensively, it said that his Patreon is awesome, where he can give you a lot more information so you can tell how this thing works and actually confirm some of the stuff that I'm saying. But beware that even the people that are kicking this information many times are a part of the secrecy and the hypocrisy that I'm talking about. I hope it gets fixed before it's too late. I believe it's too late for me. I don't see no freaking light at the end of this tunnel, except for my light going through the end of the tunnel. You know, I get made fun of a lot. Thanks for that. The hope is, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, well, you know what? Being free doesn't seem too bad. And I really look forward to it. I don't look forward to having another birthday. You know, there's things that I miss. There's things that I love, but I feel like they're being infringed upon. Just by knowing there's people watching me and freaking stinging me with freaking electronic weapons, and people thinking that I'm a liar. People sending voice to skull technology. This woman's been outside at least 5 times since I've been talking. I just want to get it over with. I'm tired of being tortured by Nazis that live across the street from me. I can't even go to my self-help meeting, you know, because they be sitting in there. If you talk about it, you just seem like you're crazy and you belong in an institution. And if you go in there, you know, they'll fill you full of medicine and put chips in you and you'll be even worse. And out here, they thoroughly made sure that I was taken care of with my husband here. And any friends I made turned out to be a bust too. The population in this town increased it definitely doubled, maybe tripled within the last, I would say 5 years. I started when I was at college, when I was going to the community college. I told you I was doing his schoolwork for human services and drug and alcohol therapy. And I was going to school. That's when I met that woman coughing at the bus stop. When I would be at the bus stop with my daughter and this other woman. I already told that story. We would bring our daughters to the bus stop in the morning time. The other woman had one woman had a son that she had adopted. His name was Jonathan. That's who I got the dog from. Their whole thing is to make you seem inadequate and unstable. You know, I guess, you know, and then they copy on platforms whatever they can to maintain the persona in society, like they know what the blip they're doing, you know, and to make money off of it. Meanwhile, you're sitting there getting a hole torn in your whole freaking life. And all the electronic frequencies and isolation and pain slowly kills you. And, you know, some of the shit goes on the dark web, you know, testing technologies on you and crap. And this woman, you know, I wonder, she's got to be getting paid. Because she's just a go-getter. She's got to be getting paid for every time, you know, I recognize the relay. Because it's important for her, for me to know that she's there. And I can feel the shit that they be doing. You know, they're attached directly to the Vatican and the relay that they're running through Silicon Valley. Along with the guy that owns this house. You know, we rent a house. And the landlord put up cameras and loves to ask, to remind you that he has the cameras there. And also remind me with subliminals of things that are going on inside my home. Also, he's a member of the YMCA. And, you know, I get a lot of subliminals and stuff from people at the YMCA there too. So, and the program being a part of the neighborhood association, neighborhood watch association, you know, it all fits right snug in. Like they couldn't resist. So anyway, I'm gonna end this. I hope I told you enough. about how about what I've been through, and if you follow those other sources, you'll be able to see the patterns and stuff in my story, even though I didn't tell all of my story. And even you'll be able to compare even some of the behavior that you're able to witness right here. Um, I've tried to stay positive all this time. I freaking don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like, basically hanging on for my daughters, but I don't have anything to give them other than what I know, and even the storyline has holes in it, held up to the rest of society because we're not all on the same page yet. That's why they're still able to torture people like this right in front of everybody. And there's so many of you going along with it. Like, what hope is there for the future anyway? And stay around, and every day I watch what's out of my control, that I can't help my own children or grandchildren. See, I'm already being nuked, by all this electronic frequency, and followed around and gaslighted and screwed, literally and figuratively. And what I have is our ancestors. Truly, my butt is in the wind. I am all theirs. That's all that I have. That's all that I am anyway. And I hurt so, so, so bad. I can't fathom how people could do that, unless you thought that the person you were doing it to was so awful and decrepit. And even so, you would still have to be some kind of warped to enjoy torturing people to this degree. Y'all ain't right. There is no new, better world with you in it, behaving in this manner and justifying this kind of thing. You're already in hell. And making it worse. You don't need no water. This Aquarius, let the MF burn. You don't need Oshun. You got this. You just want to burn it all down. No need for the medicine you can't duplicate and fake like it came from you, right? The original source has got to go. So this is what it feels like. At least I know why my life has been the way that it is. With the birth date that I have now. The family that I have, secrets and all. They probably thought I should have been dead 30 years ago. You imagine an annoyance of who has been able to hang on to this freaking information and keep this file on the low for an extra freaking 30 years? Probably hoping I'm gone. I'm like getting extra nukes and stuff. Freaking eardrums rattling. That freaking smart meter is on blast. At the same time as this other crap going on. And no comfort. None. I'm just watching my daughters unfold and start going through stuff that I have no control over. and no support. Sometimes, even though you can't change things, having somebody hand to hold and someone to hug, another honest person, to share life with, somebody that you can love, that loves you back, that accepts you, that's enough. That's golden, it's rich, it's beautiful, that's wealth. But not with a love bite and raising children and nowhere to go. Helping to pay rent and raise children, and I'm just surviving. And I've been reaching out and asking for help. Pertaining to what my worth is, but what I give. But I'm not a braggart. And part of it, I believe, is being sabotaged due to the things that I already forementioned with the gang stalking thing. So this is Regina's Rabbit Hole. Talk therapy. Much love to you and yours. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.